Welcome back to Let's Play NieR, and happy end of the world day. Even though the one's going pretty badly here, and I guess I don't know, something's going on with my internet connection, and I don't know if it has to do with that, but I might not be able to upload this on the same day I'm recording this, so anyway. Whenever this loading screen gets done, we'll figure out that this is like 1,000 years in the future since that tutorial. See, look at that. That's something that'll probably throw you off and won't make sense for quite a long time. And this doesn't even look like the future. Yeah, but there's us.
All right.
And there's Yuna, who looks just fine. She's not sick anymore, so I guess something must have happened. And here's that's kind of weird.
Hey, Dad. You want to hear about the crazy dream I had last night?
Hmm?
See, I was in it, and you were in it too, and we were riding around on this huge pink cloud, and then...
Yona, I'm sorry. I have to go. You can tell me when I get back.
Oh, wait. Can you get me a book while you're out?
Sure. Now stay here and rest. I can't have your cough coming back.
So yeah, this is weird. Well, this is all kinds of weird. I mean, you've got text, and sometimes characters are voiced, and sometimes they're not. And we've got stuff in our house, and whenever you're in a house like this in the game, most of the time it'll go into like a side view like this. And there's a lot of different things they do with the camera angles in this game. But most of the time, yeah, see there's no voice acting there, but I guess that's okay because he's just really thinking to himself. Anyway, we've got our own house here, and it's all sunny and bright, and there's no snow, no monsters or anything. We got chickens. There's a river down there. It looks kind of pretty. This game's graphics aren't really the best. I mean, I don't know. I guess they're a step above the Wii, maybe. Some things. Oh, and here's save points. This game has save points. So you won't be able to save it like just anywhere. You'll have to find one of these. And they're pretty common, I think. I don't know if I've said so already, but this game is kind of like really small. You can tell it's on a budget, and they only had so much to work with, I guess. So much time to make it. But you know, I think that's alright. I think it's a pretty lengthy game for how big it is, and not every game needs to be a million hours long. We just picked up 2 medical herbs. We've got swords, well, just 1 sword. You won't be able to, that this game isn't like most RPGs in that, like, you can't get new armor or anything. Well, I heard you can, like, get new stuff from some DLC or something that I don't have. I think it's the only DLC this game has, and I won't be playing it because I don't have it, unfortunately. Just to throw that out there, but instead of, like, armor and stuff, you'll be, like, mostly just collecting swords. Different kinds of swords, and you can upgrade those swords more than once most of the time, but we won't get into that until later on. So I'm just going around town here before we actually do anything really important, other than talking to this lady right here.
Morning.
Hello, Double O.
Well, someone looks raring to go this morning.
You know how it is. I'm just trying to earn a living for my little girl.
So yeah, that's one of the sisters that basically runs this town. They're like twins or something. Devola and Papola, I think their names are. But yeah, as I was saying, there are these like, they're kind of random drop things. I don't even know what to call them. They sparkle. So maybe they're vampires or something. Anyway, they usually turn out to be like random things you can pick up, and I noticed there's like a set number of locations where they can appear, but they're still kind of random because sometimes they will show up, sometimes they won't. And most of the time they'll be medical herbs, and you can only hold 10 of those at a time, which makes it kind of dumb because if you pick up any more, it'll just say inventory limit reached and you can't pick it up again or something. You guys will see. But medical herbs are healing items, and well, healing items, any items you can use to like change your like status or anything, you can only hold 10 of at a time. Whereas, like, I guess miscellaneous items you can hold up to 99 of, I believe.
How are you today?
So yeah, we got these boxes, which I think almost always hold the same things, so you'll never get anything random out of them. Although there seem to be some that just don't, like, that are random sometimes, and some that don't drop anything after you already get what's inside them. So yeah, basically you could grind for some stuff if you just, you know, go in and out of town. This guy has 2 swords we can get, but we can't afford them, even if we sell all our stuff. But we could just continue to grind and grind and grind, but that would be boring to watch. As I said, I have practiced before doing this run, and I did grind for that more expensive sword, and that took like 2 hours, maybe 3. And that was a long time, and you can pretty much get that sword right after. Well, this game is, I guess I would call it kind of Zelda-y in that it has like dungeons. So like, after the first dungeon, the game starts to really open up, and you can do side quests for gold, and once you get gold from those kinds of things, it's a lot easier to be able to afford that sword and all the other stuff in the game that you'll need. Anyway, we're going to the library where we're supposed to go now. It's about time. And this place has pretty nice music. I like the variations in the same theme. It's kind of cool. So let's go talk to Popola. She's kind of like the mayor or whatever, I guess.
Say.
And this is weird. There's like no voice acting in this particular instance. It's like sometimes they do have voiceovers for these, and sometimes they don't, like they said. And there have even been some times where like they'll start off with no voice acting, but then they'll go into it in the same cutscene kind of thing. Anyways, I guess I'll just let you guys read that. I don't know. Since I'm doing post-commentary, it's hard to give myself time to be able to read all this stuff. There's parts later on in the game where it's like solely like text-based, so I don't know if I'll try to do live commentary for those, or if I'll just let you guys pause it and read it at your own pace.
You know, all the work you give me.
But
You've been telling the
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Oh, that?
See, there's suddenly voice acting here, and I'm talking over them.
Take care of Yona. This way everyone wins.
I suppose so.
Okay, so we're going on a quest thingy. But first we gotta talk to Yuna, who magically appeared here.
Hey.
And suddenly there's no voice acting again. But basically, NieR's kind of scolding Yuna for going out when she knows she's sick and stuff, and well, we weren't even gonna get her a book like she asked us to, so I don't know. I don't know if there's an option to like pick up a book for her or anything. I don't think there would be. This game isn't all that open like most other RPGs are trying to be. Like Fallout or I don't know, Skyrim or whatever. Or Mass Effect. I don't know if I'd call all those RPGs, I guess. Well, I mean, obviously they got RPG elements, but I don't know. Here's a cutscene.
Our world is dying. Once thriving populations now lie decimated by plague and disease. The end has never felt so close. And if that wasn't enough, monsters called shades now roam the land, threatening our very lives. But that's of no consequence to me. My daughter is sick, and my only concern is to give her a better life. I try my best, but I'm only one man, and hard like that. So the kindness of the villagers has meant much. Nothing will stop me. I will fight for Yona until the end. Until the very end.
So that basically sets up a simpler version of the plot, I guess. It says it in a simple way, but you know, of course, being a being kind of a long game, the story is bound to change somewhat. Of course, I don't want to get into spoilers or anything, so I won't say much more than that. But anyway, we get to leave town through the north gate. It's kind of like the central village here. It's like in the center of the map, and there's a north and an east and a south gate. I think there would have been like, I don't know, a west gate, but maybe, I don't know if there was ever actually going to be, or if they had to cut it or whatever, or if they just said, nah, let's not make anything out west. But anyway, we're going into the northern plains, which is kind of like this game's Hyrule field, although not quite. I mean, it doesn't connect to every single thing in the game. Obviously, there are other parts of the game. But for now, we're not going to do much here, because there isn't much we can do. We're just going to kill sheeps. And they have life bars. I think you can take the life bars off if you want to, but I think this game is just much easier with them. I mean, usually with like Zelda games, I can kind of memorize how many hits it takes to defeat an enemy, but here, of course, you've got like leveling up and gaining experience, so you get stronger. So it's kind of hard to know how much damage you're dealing an enemy at a time, because they don't have any other real indications. You only needed like 3 mutton, but I think I'm gonna collect more here. Just have some to sell. And killing sheep is easy so far. What I'm doing is basically like jumping, pressing the Y button to do this kind of ground pound thing. I don't even know what to call it. And then if you press LT and X, the left trigger and X, you can do this kind of finisher move. I don't know if you're really meant to do it on sheep. I mean, sheep are a small part of the game. They're not really anything you'll have to do except for side quests or things like this. I mean, I guess you can sell their mutton, which is what I do to grind for money. But usually these attacks are, you know, this game has actual enemies you fight, and that finisher move is meant to be used when they're like knocked over on the ground. It takes a huge chunk of their health away. So that's kind of a good strategy to use, at least at the beginning of the game. There's quite a few different types. Maybe not as much as I thought there should have been, but still. Anyway, you guys are probably already bored, and I'm not even done killing these guys yet. Maybe you can fast forward a few minutes and you'll miss everything, and then it'll be the end of the game. It'll be awful. Yeah. Just don't get too close to the sheep without jumping first, because they'll usually like kick you, and like, I guess if you're really low level and you're on higher difficulty, you could like get killed pretty fast. I don't know about sheep, but there's like some different types of animals too, like deer or goats. And some of them are more like offensive than others are, well, not offensive, but they'll try to attack you and defend themselves more. So they'll run around and try to ram you if you attack them first, at least, and if you give them a chance. See, here's a couple of goats right here. Fortunately, I don't let them get away, but they seem a little stronger than sheep, and of course they give different drops. Yeah, most of the stuff that you collect from enemies or animals like this are just meant for side quests. Just going through the main game, you won't have to do anything near as tedious as this. But of course, you can gain a lot of money and other stuff. One thing I should point out is you don't get experience from doing side quests. You only like get gold or some other specific trinkets or whatever. It's really specific. And I'll say now, I probably won't do all the side quests in the game. I did that once, and Oh, that's enough for me. I mean, most of them aren't that bad. They're just kind of tedious, but some of them can get really frustrating and seem to be more luck-based. Like, I guess this isn't really a story spoiler or anything, but there's one point in the game where you can, like, get a garden in your yard. And, there's one side quest that has you, like, planting a bunch of different kinds of flowers next to each other to get a random chance of getting a special kind of flower. And I don't know, it's just really convoluted. Here's a spot where you can grind for medical herbs if you need them. If you don't want to buy them, you can just go up on here and all these boxes have a bunch of them. And this bridge goes to an area that we're not really supposed to be in yet. But the game doesn't let us do anything here anyway, so I figure, you know, why not just show it off. Anyway. I mean, we won't get too far, but there's like at least a couple of rat tails we can get here and another medical herb. So why not give a tiny preview? Oh god, the more intense music went away. Here's a rat. Mouse. Sorry, mouse, I got it wrong. It's a mouse tail. Here's the medical herb. And another mouse tail right here. And there seems to be like a lot of technological stuff. But it looks all dusty and old and everything. So something must have happened. Cause like we were all in like, I guess a destroyed city and it was snowing and all before, 1,000 years ago. So, you know. And I guess, I don't know if this will spoil anything for anybody, but apparently this game is kind of a sequel to, or based off of one of the endings of this game called Drakengard, or maybe it was Drakengard 2. Either way, I haven't played either of those games, so I don't really know what the significance is, or if this game has much to do with those games, other than that one simple fact. So yeah, I do think this game kind of really still stands on its own. I mean, I think it's a pretty good game with a good story. It takes some wrapping your mind around to get it after it's all done, but you know, it doesn't really need those games, it seems like, to make sense. Anyway, we're gonna go back to town now. Finally, it's about time. I should have cut all that out, but yeah, I don't know how much to cut out exactly sometimes with these videos. I mean, I want to be able to show most everything to have it make sense. But then I also don't want to upload anything too boring if that takes too long. But I don't know, as we go through more of the game, there'll be definitely more interesting parts in this, or just in the first hour of the game still. And we got some shades to kill, finally. And there's a lot less than the tutorial. And we leveled up for our first time, and no shoot came online. That's great. Oh god. Oh no, I'm gonna die. He's gonna kill me, oh god. Notice how he's not really going into the sunlight. Blah blah blah, I didn't know shades came so close to the village. Yeah, that's not good. So anyway, with that done, I'll probably see you guys next video. So peace and chicken grease. Next time we'll like do something and stuff and all that.